on years. So
So you could probably tell.
I
I mean,
could probably,
well, from a counselor standpoint,
I will say,
like, so how many,
I
like,
will say that from a
yeah,
counselor
because you
standpoint.
obviously,
Okay. You know, I think there are many ups and downs on both sides because obviously, if the couple is thinking about divorce, there's already a lot of hurt, a
okay.
lot of hurt and a lot of pain for both, probably both people.
Now, let me ask you this. Like, in most cases, when you have a couple who's coming in and they're asking for a divorce, do you find yourself in a position where you, from a counselor standpoint, are you looking at it from trying to figure a way to keep them together, or are you just looking at it from a standpoint of how does this work? Am I just going to listen and then be objective and find out whether divorce would be best and help counsel them toward that, or is it just to try to, or do you try to counsel them toward staying together?
Well, initially, it's going to be seeing what their idea is of why they're coming into a
Okay.
session. Sometimes people will come in and say, we want to try to make our marriage work.
Okay.
And then if that's what they're wanting, then we're going to do marriage counseling. If I see that I think it's not going to work,
Yeah.
sometimes I will say, is this marriage counseling or divorce counseling? I need to know because it's two different things.
What are the differences when it comes from a counseling standpoint? What are the differences between marriage counseling and divorce counseling?
If we're going to have marriage counseling, then we're going to try to find the area. Both of them, we want to try to find areas of strength in the relationship so we can work on those. But how that's going to play out in the relationship is going to be different. If there's no children involved and they agree on everything, there's not going to be too much need for too much counseling because they are in agreement about a lot of things. If there's children involved, then we're going to really be looking at co-parenting. If they couldn't do their relationship very well while they're married, there's going to
Yeah.
be some issues probably in how they co-parent.
Now, how much in marriage counseling, like which I kind of view to some degree as being like divorce prevention,
Yeah.
how often do you work on some of those things, some of the similar things? So, like, people who want to stay together, they also need to learn how to parent together as
Yes.
well.
Lots of times I'll use an inventory that I use for premarital as
Yeah.
well, and have them do that. If I think there's a lot of room that they're going to that we're going to need to look at a lot of areas. In
Right.
other words, I may have them do that, and then it kind of cuts to the chase. But normally, whatever it's going to be, I start with communication because I find that most people don't communicate very well.
Yeah. What are the number one reasons you see for divorce? I heard an interesting joke today where a guy said, "Well, the number one reason for divorce is marriage."
There you
And,
go.
but
That is so
what?
true.
Yeah, it started somewhere.
Yeah.
But, like, what are some of the reasons that you see that are main contributors to people saying, "Okay, I can't do this anymore"?
Shouldn't have gotten married in the first place. How about
Yeah.
that one?
Yeah. Yeah.
Made a
Yeah.
decision when they were maybe too young,
Yeah.
or maybe because they were pregnant, or maybe because they tried to please someone else.
Okay, we're not talking about me.
No. Oh, right. That's right.
Those are the
True. We're
reasons
not
for
talking
my
about you.
divorce. I'm sorry, but go
Right.
ahead.
Uh, Seriously,
Yeah.
a lot of times people do say we probably shouldn't have ever gotten married,
Yeah. I mean, I
or at
found
least
myself
one
saying that.
person
Yeah.
says that.
Yeah.
But if you want to stay married, then what are we going to do? If you're saying, well, we've been together a long time, but it's not working. Okay, well, what's not working? Is it the communication? They don't listen to each other. Um, they can't resolve conflict. Maybe someone's had an affair. Maybe someone is not in that relationship. In other words,
Yeah.
they're in relationship with drugs, sex, pornography, sports, their job. They're only parenting. They've lost they've lost that primary relationship because a wife and husband That's supposed to be the primary relationship
Right.
in the family, even if you have 5 kids, even if you have 2 kids or 1 kid. And sometimes it doesn't stay like that. It becomes that they're really in a relationship with either the rest of the family, like their kids, or maybe they're in a relationship with their family of origin and not.
Yeah. Now that's seems like it's always something that comes up when I hear like young couples come and ask me questions. With the from a pastoral counseling standpoint, like when someone asks, that's always there. Like, with young couples not being able to make that transition from my mother, my father have always been at the center of everything, and now I'm supposed to just put this person, put my spouse there where my mother has been, or my father has been.
They think that, but it's not really exactly like that.
Right.
It's that the relationship is supposed to really shift to this is the primary relationship, and then those other relationships that are very important are still there. The dynamic just changes in how to do that, and the parents of the couple have a lot to do with how that happens, whether it is a healthy or unhealthy shift. It doesn't shift or shifts in an unhealthy way.
Yeah, I think that, marriage, you need a community to some degree, not to be in your business, but you do need individuals that are going to support you, especially people who have had marriages, successful marriages as well, should come along and help you with it, or people who are currently even in a successful marriage should. I think for me, that's one of the reasons why I've been able to get as far as I've gotten with the marriage that I'm in currently, with me and my wife. If I didn't have people surrounded around me who've been successful at this far longer than we have, giving me advice, or I'm paying attention and listening to them and watching what they're doing. Mike tells me a lot of things I've just learned to I pick up on. So the same principles that apply in your household, somehow they magically work in mine.
There you
so
go.
I listen to Mike on a lot of things.
Okay, not me.